This video is brought to you by Squarespace. A few days ago, I put out a video with a tier list of characters ranked on how likely I think they are of making it as DLC. And at the very top, you had Majin Vegeta. Of all the Vegetas that are not in the game yet, I think Majin Vegeta is the one with the best possible chance of becoming DLC. So let's look at all of his moves from the show and figure out what his moveset could look like in Dragon Ball FighterZ, brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform that allows you to build a beautiful website or online store, complete with marketing tools and analytics. It's the perfect place to launch your website or business. With their easy-to-use templates, star layouts, and drag-and-drop features, you can quickly create a professional-looking website and showcase your ideas on the internet. You can schedule posts, you can have a comment section with likes and dislikes, and the sky's the limit. Their help center and 24/7 customer support are always there in case you need assistance with anything related to the platform, and the list of features really goes on and on. Without knowing a word of HTML or CSS, you can build a beautiful website. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Globku, enter code Globku for a 10% discount on your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you Squarespace for sponsoring this video. The moment when Bobby D enters Vegeta's brain is a moment where Vegeta shows such agony, and that comes along with his huge power surge. After succumbing to his control, Vegeta is happy with his newfound power, points at their opponent, and is ready to get things started. This is Vegeta's intro right here. Thing is, Vegeta was never really under Bobby D's control. He allowed him to get inside his head, but over time he shows that Bobby D cannot influence him at all. And when he manages to break the control, it is such a powerful moment. This would be his victory pose. Not only did Vegeta just win the fight in Dragon Ball FighterZ, he also won the fight against Bobby D inside his brain. Moving on to his normals, Vegeta's basic fighting style doesn't change much. In this fight, you can see a lot of the moves that all versions of Vegeta currently have in the game, with a lot of elbow and knee attacks. So for the most part, I believe Vegeta's normals would behave similar to the other Vegeta versions. And they are very good normals. There are, however, a couple of unusual things that Vegeta only does after he goes Majin. For instance, he often grabs the opponent's limbs and follows up with a big attack. So this kick right here, for instance, I could see that being the third hit of his auto combo. The grab, side switches, and the kick seals the deal. In the air, instead of the usual double X handle as his jumping heavy attack, tweak the animation slightly and make it a sideways double X handle, making it a reference to the moment Vegeta knocks Goku out to take Majin Buu on his own. And also, just like Super Saiyan Vegeta, I think you could totally have a dive kick command normal. In fact, I'm surprised no other Vegetas have it so far, and it's such a good swag combo tool. But yeah, other than that, standard Vegeta moveset. Majin Vegeta's moves are really not that different. We are, however, gonna change his ki blasts quite a bit, as every version of Vegeta has different ki blasts. We cannot have this one be any different. If Super Saiyan Vegeta has fast ki blasts thrown frantically as a flurry, and the other two have ki blasts that are lobbed or thrown in a more calculated fashion, Majin Vegeta has a more direct approach. He did a flurry once, but most of the time his ki blasts are direct and calculated. He's not a character that will throw too many unnecessarily, because a couple of them is all he needs to accomplish his goal. At the same time, unlike Super Saiyan Blue or base Vegeta, he doesn't angle his ki blasts. He shoots them straight at the opponent with pinpoint precision. So we're gonna give him multiple ki blasts both on the ground and in the air, but they're not shot quite as fast as Super Saiyan Vegeta. They're bigger but come out slower. And in the air it's the same thing. It comes down angled and it's at the same speed as the grounded ki blasts. Moving on to his special attacks, I think this is where Majin Vegeta will really distinguish himself from the other Vegeta versions. First of all, let's talk about his beam command. One of my favorite things about powered up characters is how their final moves from 50 episodes ago are now so easy to do that they don't really require a lot of setting up. So we're gonna take his Gallic Gun and his Final Flash and turn them from super moves into special moves. Majin Vegeta shoots a really fast Final Flash in his fight against Goku, so this would be his high priority blast while in the air. On the ground, we're gonna give him the Gallic Gun. We hear Vegeta yell Gallic Gun in the English dub, but we don't actually see the attack, so this might actually just be another Final Flash. That pose does not look like a Gallic Gun, but either way, he'd shoot a high priority projectile upwards. And just like that, Vegeta can launch 2 of his trademark moves without spending any meter, and he does it effortlessly, which is a really good showcase of his powered up state. Next up, key traps. This might be the most unique move that Majin Vegeta did during his entire airtime. He shoots these small key cuffs and traps the opponent, and then slaps Goku before proceeding to beating him up to a pulp. In the game, this move could be an easy corner carry for Vegeta. He throws those key traps, and those those carry the opponent all the way into the corner. After carrying the opponent to the corner, Vegeta would punch the opponent a bunch as his follow-up attack. I think you would either need an assist to connect with this ability or to connect after this ability lands, because it shouldn't be something that you can easily put into a combo, because this is something that will guarantee the corner for Vegeta. And if it's that powerful, you need to at least spend resources. But either way, it would be a sin to include Majin Vegeta in the game and not do something creative with this ability. Next, a Headbutt. That's right, a Headbutt. Previously, we talked about how similar Majin Vegeta's moves are to Vegeta's regular fighting style, but there's one thing that he does over and over that he doesn't do normally, and that's to literally use his head to attack. So with this move, Vegeta would fly forwards and attack head on. Thank you. I'll be here, forever, I guess. The EX version might even have a headbutt, followed by a grab and another headbutt. Now, I don't think this type of lariat move should have a super big range. Maybe something like the light attack version of the dash kick, but not more than that. Otherwise, you're just making another Vegeta, but instead of a kick, he's doing a headbutt. And the move is exactly the same as all the other Vegetas. And his final special move is going to be a grab. Probably an anti-air grab, which I know is just like Blue Vegeta, but I think we can get pretty creative with a follow-up though. Vegeta can do a suplex, he can throw this close range blast. He can do both depending on the version you use, but you gotta have the grab, and Vegeta has to say, "I'm here, fool!" Just like he does in the show. I love that line. And with the specials done, it's time to talk about his supers, and we're actually gonna keep it simple here with a level 1 and a level 3. But then we're gonna go crazy with his self-destruction. First up, a one-handed beam. This is his level 1 super. It's the moment you realize that Majin Vegeta meant business. He killed all of those innocent bystanders at the World Martial Arts Tournament just to get Goku to fight him. He follows that up with a second ki blast, not even looking at the stands that he's destroying. And it's such a defining character moment that having this as his level 1 super would be so awesome. And it's not hard to imagine. It's a grounded beam that he shoots with one hand. And maybe he's not even looking at the opponent, he's just looking at the camera, or his back is turned to the camera for that extra cool factor. Next, let's talk about his level 3. This is the final impact, and it's the first attack that has some sort of effect on Majin Buu. This pose is so iconic for Majin Vegeta that you can really work a lot of animation around it. First, having Vegeta do the pose, then seeing his aura expand around him in an explosion of energy, and then, in just a moment, the ki blast shoots out and pierces the opponent. This would once again be a super that can only be done on the ground, and it would be sort of a beam, but with a different animation, because the damage isn't really in the beam part of the attack, it's in how fast it penetrates the opponent. And last but not least, let's talk about a self-destruct. Now, self-destruct abilities are not easy in fighting games, because you have to make your character lose something, be it their health or some other major part of the character. For instance, Tien loses one of his abilities when he throws Chiaotzu, and at the same time, to make up for that loss, you have to make it deal a ton of damage. Now, with the Chiaotzu example, while that super deals a lot of damage, it's not even close to what Majin Vegeta would have. The closest thing we currently have in FighterZ is Android 16's self-destruct. No matter the opponent's health, they die if they get hit by it. And Android 16 is left with 1 HP and a ton of blue health to recover. However, because it kills the opponent in one hit, it's become sort of a meme ability. It has such a long startup animation, which makes it almost impossible to land unless your opponent is really bad, and that's why it's a meme. But with Majin Vegeta, you cannot have his self-destruct ability be a meme. It's one of the main things the character is known for. The goodbye hug to Trunks, followed by the ultimate sacrifice to right the wrong that he himself caused. It needs to be something players are encouraged to use, and not the meme that is Android 16's self-destruct. So here's what I have for this ability so far, but I bet ArcSys could come up with a way better solution. First of all, if self-destruct hits, it kills the opponent, same as Android 16. But unlike Android 16, Vegeta isn't left at 1 HP. Vegeta actually dies, and it doesn't matter if the ability hits or is blocked. Vegeta always dies as soon as you input the command. And since we're taking such a big hit, such a big sacrifice, we can now buff this ability, making it something that every Majin Vegeta player will want to use. Now, because it kills the opponent, it cannot be comboed into. It would be way too unfair, so it's the same as Android 16 in that regard. You cannot combo into self-destruct. However, it can also not be avoided. The explosion Vegeta causes will hit full screen, so your options are to get hit, block it, or to reflect. At higher levels, the obvious option is to reflect, right? So we're also gonna give Vegeta the option to delay the explosion, to throw those players off. They can risk the reflect, but if they whiff, they die. If the opponent chooses the safe option, which is to block, they'll take a ton of chip damage, and we're talking about a lot of chip damage, more than a spirit bomb even. This would all be blue health, obviously, so if the opponent has Sparking Blast, this would be a pretty bad option for Majin Vegeta. But if he doesn't, you're either forcing them to tag another character to try and recover all that blue health, or if they're the last character, that might as well be permanent damage. Either way, Vegeta dies, and your next character comes in. If you're out of characters and your opponent survives, you've lost the match. However, there is one scenario where Vegeta might kill himself with self-destruct and the opponent gets hit, which means they also die. What happens then? A draw? I think that's kind of boring. If Majin Vegeta succeeds on killing you with self-destruct, first of all, you deserve to lose that game because all you had to do was block. But second, his sacrifice worked. He deserves that victory, and at that point, I'd make a bonus victory screen where it's just Vegeta's statue with some narration in the back. The ultimate sacrifice paid off. This is a very high-risk move. You lose a character as soon as you input the command, but if Majin Vegeta was already low health and had 3 bars, then at least you're forcing your opponent to take some damage before Vegeta dies. And hopefully, the rest of your team can carry you back to victory. And that's how I would tackle Vegeta's self-destruct and Majin Vegeta as a character in general. If you'd like me to make a moveset prediction on another character next, let me know which in the comments down below. Or better yet, go to squarespace.com/Globku. The first person to make me a website with Squarespace and asking me for a moveset prediction, send it to me on Twitter. I am making that video. And as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.